And hello out there, Blog Talk Radio Land. How are you today? It is a glorious Tuesday. Yes, I said Tuesday. And how do you know what time it is, darling? I want you to get all of your crumpets together, darling, because it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings. With Big Meach. Yes, honey, we're doing a special edition show today because my guest, this is the only time that he had. So, whenever we do a special edition show, honey, I cherish those moments. That's why we're a little late today, because on a special edition, we're able to accommodate the guest that's coming in. So at this particular time, this is what he had available, and I wanted to make sure that we get this in, okay? So without any fanfare or whatever, I want you guys to get your crumpets together and things, because today's show is going to be very interesting. We're going to talk with, music mogul and a film producer. He's the executive producer of a new film that is coming soon to a theater near you, and it stars Ving Rhames, Bokeem Woodbine, DMX, Sagal, Mekhi Phiefer, and it's a couple other names that's off the top that I can't think of, but those are the headline names, and it's called Blame It on the Hustle. So I decided that's why I played the Hustle song. Luther Vandross's Hustle at the beginning. But today's show, I titled it, Don't Blame It on the Hood, Honey, Blame It on the Hustle. Okay? So today, as we look into this, we're going to be talking about the movie, and in addition, our guest with this particular movie has developed a new initiative. It is the Blame It on the Hustle Summer Program Initiative that I am adoring. And what they're going to do is they're going to gather up about 50 qualifying people from the ages of 18 to 24, and if they follow the criteria and they are chosen, then they're going to have an opportunity for a fantastic internship program. And I'm going to let our guests explain it more. I like to talk, honey. That's a hobby. However, I want to let the guests really get off into what this is all about. So, we got a nice little hot pot of tea, honey, that we're going to be dishing today. So I want you to just take time and just enjoy it, honey. The tea room is open, so if you're listening by computer and wish to go over there and chat, you can. I just want you to know, honey, that the tea room, honey, is a place where it is the written word. Okay, so just be mindful of that. I want you to go over there and dish your tea responsibly, please. Sometimes from our experiences, we think that someone is trying to read us or whatever the case may be. You think they may have typed something in a way that's a neck roll or a finger snap or a finger point or whatever, and that may not be. It may be because of how you perceived it. So just remember, honey, this is the written word, and while you're over there, just dish your tea responsibly. So, because if I come over there and find out that you are not, I will cut you to the white meat, and there'll be no more questions asked. You got me? Capiche? Capiche. Okay? If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, show ideas, would like to be a guest yourself, would like to come on as one of the sponsors, please feel free to email me at bigmeach@gmail.com. I'm sorry. That's at dishingtea.com. Big Meach at dishingtea.com. We also have the Dishing Tea with Big Meach at gmail.com email as well. Or you can just simply go to the website at www.dishingtea.com, www.dishingtea.com. And over there you can find information on how to get to all the Facebook pages. You can also find information on how to get your copy of my book, Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey. I would love you to participate in that book and get yourself spiritually enlightened and lifted and motivate yourself to where when you're having bad days like I just did yesterday, honey, sometimes I had to go back to my own book and read some of the passages there so that it lifts me up as well. So, go to www.dishingtea.com for more information on that, okay? Fabulous. So now, let me, have I said everything here that I needed to say? I feel as though I'm missing something, but okay, I'll come back to it in a minute. But right now, what we're going to do is let me take a little break and let my sponsors come in and say a few words. And then after that, we'll get right into the show. Okay, so, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. It is another glorious Wednesday, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. So get your crumpets together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach.
My voice changed at a very early age. I graduated elementary school. I left the 5th grade, and this happened, during summer vacation.
To Las Vegas to audition for Naber Alleman's An Evening at La Cage at the Riviera. And I went in to audition, and he wanted me to do Pearl Bailey, Hello Dolly, and Aretha Franklin. And I said, honey, I'm Patti LaBelle. She didn't even know who Patti LaBelle was.
One of my first jobs, there was an issue. They asked my agent if I was gay because I've been doing Shakespeare for 2.5 years. As if somehow, if you could speak the King's English using vowels and consonants, that meant you were something else. And then I got insulted because it was. I wasn't, but if I was, what would that have to do with anything? You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what really pissed me off.
Well, Jezebel was in the Bible before I was born.
I think what this does for the LGBT community is it takes the sting and the stigma out of how they try to make everything dealing with LGBT sexual. They never deal with mental.
We wanted. So with all of that, what did you learn from the Idol days?
I learned that this industry is a game,
Wow.
And if I had known that I was playing a game, I would have done a lot of things differently.
We have a saying in Minneapolis, man. If you can't say something good about somebody, don't say nothing at all. And I think that was one of the things that really saved the relationship with Jeremy Lewis and I. And with Prince. I have a lot of respect for Prince.
Real man.
Right.
A hell of a man.
Mm-hmm.
But Ms. Ross is an absolutely wonderful person. She happened to be a woman that demanded perfection. If you were not at the top of your game, you were gone. Simple as that. No questions asked, because she demanded perfection around her, because she was a perfectionist, and I give kudos to her because she taught me well, and I am the exact same way.
Sometimes it's best to just back up off it. Just back up off it. Whatever it is, the woman you messing with, the man you messing with, the collard greens you trying to cook, just back up off of it.
Not the collard greens.
To my manager's office, and I noticed that my business checkbook was out on her desk and open, and there was no reason for that to have been the case. And so I'm like, why is my checkbook open? She's like, well, why are you looking on my desk? And then I noticed that I had been paying my cousin's rent for 5 years, and I didn't know about it. So I knew that I was paying him a salary.
This is a lesson, and it's not an issue of, women hate men or male bashing. It's an issue of mistreatment on the man's part and on the woman's part, just mistreatment.
If he was a person that hated gay people, he would not do that.
He would not do it, that's right.
The only thing the minister hates is injustice. Injustice for his people, especially his people, but injustice for all people.
For all, exactly.
And I've known the minister since I was 16 years old.
Greg Burge and Gene Anthony Ray, oh, my God. I met him on the set of Fame, and I instantly became like his surrogate mother. That lasted for, my goodness, more than 10, 15 years, 10 years.
Wow. Okay. Where the hell you been? Where you been?
And to me, it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek when I said that. I was basically asking people where y'all been. I've been on the road every weekend. I've been on the road every weekend since 1983. I never stopped being a comedian. So what happens is, I think when you do TV and movies, when they no longer see you in TV and movies, they figured you must have gone away.
what people don't know is, see, I met Meach, and Meach is fly. You know, he came out with the suit on. You know, he came out to the show and really turned it out. So, you know, when he hit me up and asked me to come to the show, I said, man, it would be my pleasure to come and speak to your audience, man. So thank you, and what a great introduction, man.
Tea Darlings with Big Meach. And we are back. Yes, so I want to go into this, and I want you guys to sit down, honey, and relax yourselves. I'm sitting up here looking at my cue, and I was supposed to be going into something else, but I do not see where I was going. So I'm gonna come back to that in just a few moments. So, without any further ado, let's get this thing started. Like I say, honey, we say don't blame it on the hood. We're going to blame this on the hustle. And to give us more information about blaming on the hustle is the executive producer of this soon-to-be-released film coming to you in 2014. This is the one and only Mr. Phil Gates. Hello there, Mr. Gates. How are things in your world? You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Hey.
Oh, hey, how's everything?
Everything is moving in the right direction. I can't complain. I won't complain.
All right, I appreciate you guys having me on the call.
I
said I appreciate you guys having me on the call.
Oh, it's not a problem. Thank you for wanting to come on down and dish this tea about what's going on with this movie, because I'm excited about this particular film because I'm a Ving Rhames fan. Ving is, God, I've been in love with him for a long time. And, of course, you know, you got Bokeem Woodbine, you got DMX, you got Mekhi Phiefer, you know, brought back Steven Sagal that everybody thought was, you know, probably retiring somewhere. So in this, you know what I'm saying? So with this, before we get into the film itself, let me take you back just a little minute because I want to. That's what I was doing. I'm trying to find this blast from the past for you. Because before you became a film producer, you were a music mogul. And here we go. Let me see. Do you remember doing this?
So what's up, Jay? You ready to kick these lyrics or what? Yeah, I'm ready to kick it. So kick. Alright, listen. This beat stupid pumping. True culture, and we're saying something. Rapper than an M16. Busting them clean. Rasta my knees. Tracy on my side, ready to flip. AK-47 with dark and with no light bulb. You catch a cardiac arrest in the nightclub. So funk so ballistic like water and tonic. Aided and abetted with pure electronics. Lyrics in mind copacetically set. Make you breathe hard or make your leg wet. So get up on this, don't make a yard bud flip. Pop it easy, Mike will make the ladies move their hips. This is coming from the FCT lab. Yo, it's so good it's bad. Hey yo, E, let's go grab some panties, man. Enough said. We in this. Easy.
All right, now let me take you back.
Come on. Who am I talking to?
This is still Big Meach.
How did you find that record and connect that record to me, though?
Oh, well, it's called I Am a Radio Talk Show. I have to do my little research and understand that they were on your label at one point, Mr. Music Man. So yes, this is true culture.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Did we ever meet before?
No.
If we never met before, then you must really be, the government needs you. Because the government definitely got to get you in their squad. FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, they all got nothing on you, B. What's fun? Because I don't even understand how you even got that. Like, I'm amazed. I'm truly amazed.
Oh,
I thought you
my
was going to pull out
goodness.
maybe a Jaheim or
exactly. That's exactly why I didn't.
Or something. You went back to
That's exactly why I didn't. Mm-hmm.
You went back to the root. You went
I
back to
took you right back
that's
to the
root.
beginning. Exactly.
Yeah. That's
so
the
let's
beginning.
talk about those beginning days, because I understand that as you were developing yourself and coming into the city of New York, your roots are Barbados. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning stages, of looking for your brand of success, like many folks, they took a road that they thought was going to lead them there, and you found out that wasn't the right road. And so when you changed direction and got into this music industry, what was it that was your catalyst to get there? And how was it that you were able to become the mogul that you were? Because according to my research, you became well respected because of the artists that you brought, and then because they were, for lack of a better term, no names at the time, you built them to where they've all become successful and all had to stand on their own and had a name that was going to be reckoned with. What was that like for you?
Well, I guess to sum it up in one sentence, temporary failure doesn't mean permanent. Like when you do something, sometimes it don't work, and some people think that that's failure. That particular situation didn't happen, so it's total failure. But that's just temporary. Something you got to do something somewhere in the matrix. You didn't do something right, so you got to go back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? Like, dig that. And that's one thing that this entertainment business taught me was patience. I never had patience before. I always wanted it right now and do it right now and get it right now. It taught me, especially when you want to do what I call create my own sandbox. I learned as I got a little older that the entrepreneurial spirit is in my blood, from before I was born. My uncle, he owned a couple of brownstones in Harlem, and he had two pharmacies, one in Brooklyn and one in Park Avenue, and 129th in Harlem. And my other uncle, his father, I should say, he owned other buildings, and my aunt, she owned, and this, I'm going back before I was born, in the early 60s and stuff, They had fish markets and, stuff like that, and cleaners and all that. And I didn't realize that I had that entrepreneurial spirit till years later, and I just kept moving. To me, it's just, I learned to also through playing sports, and understanding that you need a team, and if you're going to fall forward, don't fall backward, and that kind of stuff. And I think the foundation for that is me being a Christian and going to church from when I was a little boy. I used to go to church from Wednesday to Sunday 3 times on Sunday with my grandmother. And, I think that, I remember before my father had passed away, he had said to me that when I was a kid, every Sunday when the pastor asked if anybody wants some extra blessing, every Sunday I raise my hand and walk up to the altar and get blessings, So, I think that, I really feel that here in to fast forward to modern day, 2013, with the city and the state cutting back on all of these programs for kids. When I was coming up, you had to have a music course. Either you had to play a wind section, or you play the string section, or you went and sung with the school choir or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? You had to take those classes. You had to play the guitar, the clarinet, the oboe, the flute. Pick something, but you're going to learn something. When you start cutting back on all of these different things, it hurts the kids, because the kids now don't know how to work as a team. Everybody's solo now.
Good point.
When you play sports, I don't care if it's tennis. You might be one person playing tennis, but you have a coach teaching you how to hit the ball the right way to keep it inside the line, and how to, work out your arms and your legs and the stamina and all these type of things help build character. It helps build it teaches you how to deal with people, and when things don't go your way, how to don't get upset, just work it out, and all these little things is what causes people to be better people, and when you cut these things off, you end up having this lawless kids, and if a kid is not afraid in the home, he's definitely not going to be afraid of the street, and I think that's the beginning of it. Kids got to be afraid of their mother and their father and their uncle and their next door neighbor and that kind of stuff. If the kids are not afraid of the adults, then when you hit the street, you're definitely going to be afraid of the police or nobody else.
Exactly.
So it's about working together, and that's what the movie, is about. Some double crossing inside a family. You have your street family, and then you have your family blood. So the movie's about a double cross inside of the family which spilled into the street family, and that happens all the time. But at the same token, aside from that, we are, one of the things I'm also trying to do is what I'm doing right now, which is be able to talk to the kids and let the kids know that the movie is just entertainment. I know back to those days, you just played the record. You had something called A&R department, and the A&R department had what they call I forgot the department that they cut back. Where I remember when you have an artist, the artist had to go and learn etiquette.
Yeah, the artist development department. Yes,
artist. Right, a real artist development department where you had a person like Angelo sit there and talk to you and teach you how to speak, how to listen,
exactly.
How to walk in, pull your pants up and carry yourself as a human being, an adult, because you want to sell your product. You don't want to go on the radio and just say, yeah, man, because, I just bought this car. The rims is crazy, son. 20 inches with the crazy, yeah. That's not selling the music. You might be selling them rims, or you might be selling the car, but you're definitely selling the music.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, there's no leadership, there's no tutelage, So with myself and Angelo and Mike Tucker, with this Lay the Guns Down organization. We're trying to actually, bridge the gap between the disconnect between the kids, the community, as well as the elected officials. You got. I mean, if the elected officials don't care, they're just getting a check.
Exactly.
Because they're looking for a check.
Okay.
There's a problem there. You know what I mean? It's a big problem. You got somebody who don't care because they're getting it, and somebody who don't care because they got to get it.
Let me ask this.
You got to get it. You know what I mean? So my whole thing. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Where was the disconnect? Because you've been in this business for a long time. Where was where do you think the disconnect came within the music industry? Was it the record industry that changed when they started changing and getting rid of the different departments?
Of course.
And collaborating or whatever?
That's the beginning right there. You don't got to go no further. The kids listen to music.
Right.
And I think the powers that be remember when back in the 70s, because the music tells a story of a culture, of a period of time.
That's right.
Go back to Bootsy Collins and those guys, talk about we call them again, some of those guys, I can't think of any of their names right now, but that period of time was about love and happiness. No war, no peace, working together. Brothers got to work it out. That told a period, that those records talked about a time period. The time period was about no more war. Let's work together. Let's get together and peace and unity, love and having fun.
Right.
Then comes the rap, and the rap starts talking about Africa and peace and love and brother man and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, wait a minute, hold up. These dudes are talking to each other. We got to cut this shit out.
Okay, right.
So now we got to talk about F the police and all that kind of stuff. And you got to. I don't want people to think. I want people to just be lawless. I want people to just have fun and forget about what's going on. These are the kids. This is tomorrow's youth that's listening to this. You know what I'm saying? So if tomorrow's youth, if you're feeding the kid poison, just a matter of time before he die. Even if it's a little piece at a time, a little piece. After a while, that little piece is going to erode the brain. You know what I mean?
True. That's true.
And the music is what causes this stuff, because that is what is sending them to the left, not to the right. And then while that's happening, then you're cutting off all the little the after school programs and all that kind of stuff to do, and then you give them you give them a piece what you call a cell phone, and the cell phone has everything on it, so I don't even need to know how to spell now. I just need to know how to type the word closest that I can, and then the spell check is going to spell it for me.
Either that or now we have created a new language, because with the text messaging you only get 160 characters.
No, I don't even have to put I don't know. You just got to put IDK now.
Exactly. I was just going to say that we ain't even doing words. We all letters now. OMG, LOL. Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So now I'm breaking you down. And soon from now we're going to just start grunting. You know what I mean?
Okay, caveman style. Right.
You know what I mean?
And we damn near there. We damn near there. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Exactly. What up?
No, it's not even what up. It's sup. SU sup.
Exactly,
so we damn near there.
Right. Sorry, but what's up is sup. Sup. So, we laugh and we joking, but that's the reality.
But that's the truth. That is the reality, yes.
I don't even got me. Hey, look at you. You got your cell phone, right? You don't even know nobody's. You might know about 3 or 4 people's numbers.
I know.
You want to call Angelo A-N-G, Angelo.
Right.
Or a couple of people with A-N-G, and then you look down, Angelo. Boom. You don't even know his number. You just know how to spell his name.
Exactly.
God forbid you lose the phone. Oh, God.
I know.
You run around screaming like a madman. You know what I mean? So these are all the little things that causes the disconnect, you know? And there's nobody there to actually help do the connect. And I'm hoping that as we move forward, you know, we could bring some like minds together and, you know, we save one, if I can save one and you save one, that's two.
And that's
one,
true.
That's three.
Here's the question.
And then just continue moving like that.
Where are the minds? See, for those who've been in the veterans that's been in here, and I would consider myself a veteran because I've been on the local stage, you know, in the business as an actor and carrying on locally. I have not done, you know, any of the broad stuff. However, understanding this, where are the minds? Because it seems like the powers that be have all either they got tired, and because there was no training program, you know, the grooming and the mentoring, you know, they didn't train anybody to take over the family business, so to speak, you know, when they decided to take their hands off of it. So who do we look to? I'm gonna tell you one thing too. You gotta also understand, you know, very few people, even back then, all right, knew how to take nothing and turn it into something. Okay. A lot of times these guys got on labels and they blew up. And then when the label doesn't want them anymore, right, they don't know how to recreate themselves. Because the label didn't teach them how to create themselves. So if you didn't know how you was created, how can you recreate? You can't recreate because you didn't know how you was created. You know, you did a couple of interviews and you went to a couple of radio stations and you was in a couple of magazines, but you don't know the schematics of how to put the puzzle together. You just you were just a tool that was moved around the board. So when the label doesn't want you anymore, I mean, look at some of these people like the 112s and the Jodeci's and they can still do their thing, but they don't know how. They just don't know how. Because when they were hot, you know, they were making money with their thing, and you never think it's going to stop, so you never stop to really pay attention. The manager, he's, you know, if he's, you know, he more likely don't care either. He's just getting bread and having a good time too. So when it's over for you, you know, he goes on to another artist. And you go home and sit down, turn into a drunk or something. You know what I mean? So it's about, you know, it's about actually using the brain that God gave you. It's a business. Great business. And as you do business, like I said to someone today, the Bible says the love of money is the root to all evil. Right, the love of it, not money, but the love of it, exactly. The love of it, the love. If you love it too much, you'll kill for it. Exactly. You'll rob, you steal for it. If you just know you got it, then you don't have to kill and steal. You just keep it moving and let it come to you. Now, ain't that true? Right. Now, here's the $25,000 question, and it ties into the title of the movie and what everything and what the premise of the movie is about. As a former record label owner and creator, when someone is on their grind with the hustle of wanting to make this happen and this, that, and the other, and yet they have opposition, and I'm going to go about with the artists who end up the opposition being those who are coming in to introduce them to drugs, to introduce them to, you know, all of that lasciviousness that goes on in the industry that we know them for, and then they become, you know, Jodeci, those children, you know, KC and JoJo, you know, going through their thing and carrying on. And when they got introduced to that, you know, what was so hard with the powers that be to say we're not going to have that here? You know, I'm sure as a label owner, when they wasn't able to produce for you, you had to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? And to protect your company brand, to protect the image and everything else. What is it, or why is it that all of those things seem to go hand in hand when it could have been stopped or nipped in the bud? Or can it be because folks are grown and they're going to do what they want to do?
Well, you know, folks being grown and want to do what they want to do is really the answer.
Okay.
But I said folks being grown and want to do what they want to do, you know, and that's really it. But I don't know, man. I can only speak for myself, brother. You know what I'm saying? And honestly and truthfully, it starts off with you being grounded. It starts off with you really and truly believing in God, not just saying it because that's something that, you know, you were taught
it's PC, right?
Coming up, you know, it's about having faith, you know, and just opening up your damn eyes and your brain. If you wasn't born with some sort of mental deficiency, then you know that's why it's called blame on the hustle. You can't blame nobody. If you don't have nothing wrong with you, you gotta just blame it on the hustle. You can't blame the label. You can't blame the manager. You can't blame the girl. You can't blame the man. Everybody got a hustle. You know what I mean? The barber shop that you go to get your hair cut. You know. You know the barber shop that you go to get your hair cut at. You know he hustling. The place that you go buy your shoes and sneakers at, he's hustling. Everybody's on the hustle. Back in the '60s, the word hustle, somebody was a hustler. That didn't mean he was a bad person.
Exactly.
He's a dude who just keep it moving. He's a dude that make it happen. He's a dude, you know, he's a dude that sells drugs or, you know, he's a dude that did negative. He's a dude that just kept it moving. He's a dude that got it. By all means, he's going to make it happen. Blame it on the hustle. So if you do something, if you're doing something, if you're on your grind, you're on your hustle, you about making it happen, and something go wrong, you can't blame the next person. That's one thing that you learn in sports. You know, if it has anything to do with you, blame the person in the mirror first. Even if it was a little bit, even if it really wasn't your fault, but it was somebody else's fault. But it had something to do with you. You got to blame yourself. Because if it had something to do with you, that means you could have done something to maybe change the outcome.
That's right.
Because it had something to do with you. If it had nothing to do with you at all, no way, no how, then there's nothing you can say. But if it had any little bit of anything, just a small smidgen of something to do with you, then you could have changed the outcome. Period. Period. So you can't blame nobody. You got to blame the person in the mirror. And once you can blame the person in the mirror, then you can live and you can make things happen after that. But if every time something goes wrong, it was his fault, it was her fault, I told him not to do that, he should have known, you're never going to get nowhere. Blame yourself first. You overcome and you be a better person for that. You know, that's not a way out. That's just what it is. You knew it, then you should have done something about it.
Exactly. I'd say, and there we have it. Now let's go into the film, because you transitioned from the music side of entertainment, and now you're producing, and you're producing television shows and all of that, and now you're into this major film. What was it that attracted you to the film side of this that said, okay, let me leave music alone for a moment and then come into the film?
I had friends that used to go on auditions and stuff like that. And you know, I was like, what are you doing? Why we do our own movie? And he's like, where are you going to get the money? I said, I don't know this. I ain't worried about that. Don't worry about the money. Worry about the product. Get the product, then you get the money. You know, don't worry about the money. If you get the product, the money will come. It's all about positive thinking and positioning. You know, you think positive, you position yourself. You know, I remember from back when back in the 90s when Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was out. You know, I was like, damn, I could do that. You know, then when Ice Cube did that movie with with the booty spot, I forgot what it was called, and you know, the girl in the strip club or something like that.
The Players Club.
I was like, Players Club. I was like, I could do that. You know, it took me a while to get to where I'm at, but you know, God does what He wants to do in His time. You know. He does it. He does it. What's that saying? He doesn't come when you want him, but He's always on time.
Okay. Exactly. Okay.
You gotta, these are things that I believe. I ain't just talking it; I walk it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the only way you could. That's the only way you could deal with the enemy and the people that might want to talk behind your back or pull you down or whatever. You know what I mean? You just gotta believe. Just like you believe that you're breathing right now and you're standing and talking on the phone and whatever, you gotta believe.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
No matter what anybody tell you, you gotta believe, and you gotta go down swinging. You gotta take it to your grave if that's what you want. You know, that's what success is. That's what success is. Success is doing what you want to do. There's a guy who's working at a gas station. That's what he want to do. Then he's successful. He might not aspire to own a gas station. He might not aspire to own the cleaners. This is what he always wants to do, pump gas. He's successful. He's happy. He's content. You know, that's what success is, doing what you want to do and being happy about doing it, period.
Dig that.
It ain't about
I like that.
Else. You know, it ain't about the money. You know, there's some people that live in the projects and they're comfortable sitting, living in the projects and getting that check and chilling.
Right.
You know, you can't tell them nothing because they content. You know, that's what success is all about. You not conforming to what somebody else wants you to be, but being what you want to be.
All right. Now, how you just explained that sounds like that there is the premise of the movie. You know, the basic like that. There's one of the mantras or one of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Platforms.
Just one of the what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, just the one of the meanings of what the movie is all about, because of understanding that if you're going to be on your grind and on the hustle, you can't blame it, because depending on what the hustle is, child, it's the game. You can't blame the game. You got to blame yourself in that somewhere, because you decided to take this on. You know what I'm saying? Hell, the game is the game. You knew it when you came in.
That's right. You know when you got started.
Exactly. What and then you did not allow for mistakes. A lot of folks take on stuff and then they think that it's going to be hunky dory and they don't expect the unexpected. So in this with the movie, how did everybody come on board? When you said that we're going to take this on, because I know this was a labor of love, in this development process, it took a little minute, but now you got names. You got some hard-hitting names.
Honestly and truthfully, that was partly due to my director, Augustine, and the rest, like I'll say it to you again, it's just the Almighty just making things happen, making it hot. That's really it. I can't, I ain't gonna lie to you, come on. I'm on the phone talking to Mekhi Phiefer. I'm like, wow, I can't. Well, what else can I tell you? It ain't me.
Dig it.
It wasn't me. I don't know him.
Okay, right. Right.
My director, he helped me put together a script that people like, and the guys just started making things happen. I don't know, B. Listen, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just what it is, man.
Okay.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? You, like I said, either people believe or they don't. I honestly don't care what the next man believes. I know what it is. I've been on the other side. Nobody can tell me nothing. You know what I mean? I've been on the other side. I've come out my body and went into the future. I came back to the present, and then God said, "Okay, what you gonna do now?" and I went in the other direction. So,
Dig that. Dig that. Now,
everybody can say whatever they want to say.
Okay. Now here's another question. What is it that this movie is going to bring that's going to be different and as going to be enlightening? Because everybody, once folks find that,
Truth,
you know how folks get into that.
I'm telling you
okay.
Right now. I'm telling you. One is truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two is me bringing people like Mike to the table and going around the country trying to help with the Stop the Violence movement. And 3 is to help kids understand that movies and music is just entertainment. You go there and you look at it just like it was a football game or a basketball game or a soccer match or a cricket game or tennis, and you enjoy it and you leave. You don't go and watch people shoot and kill and then you say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and get a gun. It's ignorance.
Exactly.
You know
now,
you
said cricket.
Ignorance. You know what I mean? I don't see, Steven Sagal, as many people as he killed, arms as he broke, necks as he broke. I don't see, Sylvester Stallone walking around with his shirt and a bandana on his head, talking like he's still First Blood or Rocky. You know what I mean? Like,
you better say that. Now that's interesting.
It's a movie.
That there is okay. Now, as when you became into this, and then as a producer of film, how is it that this thing breaks down culturally? Because just how you just said that, what is it, or what do you think may be a disconnect between the cultures? Because our culture, whenever we see all this up on the screen or whatever, why is it that we feel as though that there is what it is, and we have to emulate that? We have to emulate the guns. We emulate this. We emulate disrespecting the women and this, that, and the other. When our Caucasian counterparts, they don't have that same. They have it, but not in the same numbers that we do.
Home training. Schooling.
Okay.
That's it. The
Okay.
home training and the schooling, the environment. Little Bobby might run around like he's an idiot, but his father works on Wall Street. His uncle owns Subways. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Things like that. So they might act stupid, but they learn business. And at a certain level, at a certain age, the foolishness stops, and then they start doing business, and we still continue the foolishness. One of the things I have my guy Mike Tucker here, who handles he's the community liaison for the business. I'm going to put him on the phone too because he can speak about the community side of the organization.
Yes, because I want to go into
the
summer initiative program. Hey, how are you, Mr. Tucker?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, well, thanks for wanting to come on. It's all good. Okay.
Yeah. So, Mr. Gates wanted me to talk about my connection and why we decided to collaborate on this project. Well, starting off, my organization is the Lay the Guns Down Foundation. Unfortunately, that organization was started because my oldest son was killed in 2005 by a New York City police officer. And instead of being upset and angry and, being looked upon as another angry black African-American male, I decided to do something to educate people about this epidemic that is plaguing and destroying our communities, not here, but globally. So one of the first thing that I did is I partnered up with the New York Giants. This was after the situation with Plexico burst. I reached out to them, and, at first they didn't know what they were going to do, but as soon as they made their decision, I was fortunate to get Justin Tuff and Dominic Hickson to do the first PSAs for my organization. And because of that, I was able to be taken serious about what I was trying to do, which was, like I said, educate people. The problem is that we have a lot of people for many years that's been doing a lot of talking, and nothing is getting done. What people need to understand is that crime, whether they want to believe it or not, is big business. If there's no arrest, there's no need for police officers. If there's no people going to jail, there's no need for court officers. If there's nobody going to jail, once again, there's no need for correction officers.
Exactly.
This is a big business. And what I've been trying to get young men and women to understand for the last 7 years is that, going on 8 years, is that when you go out there and commit a crime and you get locked up, whether it be a misdemeanor, most of the time these kids, these young men or young women, their first crime is a robbery. So they start out the gate with a felony. So where do you go from that? Because you can't get a job. So they decide to go back into the streets. So what this program and mentoring and internships allows is that you allow a couple of different companies to come together along with a community-based organization to present some opportunities to young men and women to say, look, we know that you might have a little trouble, but look, if you believe and you focus and stay focused and get with people that have your best interest at hand, this is what can happen. We did a trip last year where we took 150 kids up to MetLife Stadium to meet with the New York Giants football players. This is something that they might have never done before, never have an opportunity to do. But it's just letting them know that if you think it and you feel it and believe it, it can happen.
Exactly.
And that's what it's about. And we just, like I said, there's an educational component to this as well. We don't want you to just come here and work on the film and learn a trade. We want to help you. If you don't have your GED, we're going to steer you toward a program to get you to get your GED, because you can't do anything without an education. And you must at least have a GED to get a decent job. There's no jobs out here right now, but at least to be able to say I can make $8 or $10 an hour or $12 an hour, you must at least have a GED. And this is what we're trying to show these young men and young women, and that's why we partnered up to do this event, the intern program, but also we have the hip-hop community involved. Shout out to the New York Giants, shout out to Waka Flocka, shout out to Jadakiss, shout out to Jim Jones, for them realizing that, yes, it's time that we speak up as a community, because these kids are seeing and hearing the music that's coming out, and they think that it's okay. Like Phil said, when you go see a movie and you see Steven Sagal or you see Ving Rhames or you see DMX and they're, acting, they kill somebody in a movie or whatever, don't go home and emulate that. Don't go home and try to copy what you see, because all it's doing is getting yourself in trouble. And this is a first where you have a situation where you have actors from a street movie that's coming together to implement a program and talk to these kids and say, look, we know what y'all hear, we know what y'all see, but it's not all about that. This is what it's about. It's about you being able to be here on this earth to help out your brothers, your little sister, your mother, your grandfather, whoever, without nobody having to worrying about coming to see you in jail or worse, coming to see you in a cemetery.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to stop. We have a plague, and we are trying to find a solution to it.
I am in love with the summer intern program. Do you see this being necessarily a problem? And this is why I say this. Because with the school systems being the way that they are, I know in the press release that I got, you're asking those who are going to be a part of this that they're going to have to write an essay.
An essay. Absolutely.
Okay, explaining what they believe to be the meaning of the word hustle.
Hustle, absolutely.
Okay, So in order, and when I was told this, I said, I'm on board with this already because I like where this is going.
Right.
With that, do you see this as being some, just playing devil's advocate? Do you see it as a problem? Because a lot of kids don't write anymore.
Right.
They don't write. They don't know how to form sentences or anything. The grammar's going to be wrong. All of those kinds of things to create this particular essay.
Them. Absolutely.
And
see, this is what we're saying. By creating this program and saying that in order to participate, you must be willing to sit down and spend at least an hour and a half to put together an essay, formulate it. Y'all recite every rap record, every curse in the book. You're not
Say
do
that.
this. So we want to teach y'all how to sit down and put your mind to something that's worthwhile, that's going to give you an opportunity to do something. There's also, we have a line of T-shirts that's coming out. And this is on for the Lay the Guns Down Foundation. And the T-shirt reads as follows. You're willing to die for nothing, but what are you willing to live for?
I love that. Wow. I love that. See, I am still trying to get this disconnect. I'm 43 years old.
Right.
And so these teenagers and carrying on, this is my generation's kids. Now, I don't have any biological children, but I've helped raise the world, okay? I've been a surrogate parent and this, that, and the other. And I know what I've done with those who I've encountered. And we have this disconnect here to where these kids have, number one, they have no life expectancy past 30. They want everything quick. We live in a microwave society. I love the fact that being on this movie set as interns, that they are going to see the process that it takes to make this movie. Because if you're going to emulate what's on the screen, you have to understand the process behind it to know it's not what it seems. This is all play acting. This is fake blood. We got to do 15,000 takes, go back to one, everybody. Oh, we didn't get that take right. No, start over. Okay?
Yes.
And to understand that, I am digging this concept. I'm digging this.
Absolutely.
So now, there's an age bracket. Why are you looking to deal with the 18 to 24-year-olds?
And I'm going to tell you why. 1 second. Alex. The reason that we said 18 to 24 years old is because we want to get, like I said, the young men that I see in the community and young women are having problems. That's the demographics, 18 to 24. At that age, they're confused. They're trying to figure out what to do because at that age, that's when they're hollering, I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm grown.
Right.
And as I learned coming up as a kid, grownness is you having your own apartment, you paying your own bills, you being responsible for you. That's being grown. Core elements. You being responsible for you. So that's being grown. So if you're going to throw that out there, then you need to understand that it requires you to be able to take care of yourself. And so that's why we came up with 18 to 24, because these are the young men and women that I'm seeing in the street and that I'm going out and speak to. Yes, no, it's younger than that, but at that age, like I said, that's just where we're trying to go.
Exactly. The whole I'm grown syndrome. I can do what I want to do. I don't have to answer to nobody per se. And you still at home in mama's basement and you're going to tell her how she going to run her house because you grown. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Really?
So that's where, like I said, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give them an opportunity. And I think that it's going to take off, and you're going to hear a lot of people talking about it as well as parents as well, because they're going to want their kids to have this opportunity, especially when they found out all of the different elements and all of the different people that are involved.
Now let me ask you something about Stop the Violence, because now that the president is on this kick with the anti-gun initiative that he's on, as far as making sure that we get these background checks or whatever. Is your organization working with that initiative as well, or have you guys rallied with the Newton people with all that massacre and carrying on?
No,
are you partnering, or have you decided that what you're doing in your particular city is where you need to focus, because we're dealing with a lot of different demographics?
Yes. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I say like this, and I say this when I speak to people all the time. We are living in Newtown. I live in Brooklyn. We live in Newtown every day. We live in Columbine every day. There's no outcry when the young African and Latino children are being shot in the street every day. We lose 20 to 30 kids every day, but not in one place. You might get 3 here, 3 there, but they add up. Where is the outrage for that? So what I've been doing is, like I said, just going out, speaking out, and my cry is not to the elected officials. My cry is to the community. You want to bring about change and you're tired of what's going on, then this is what you need to be doing. Don't depend on the elected officials to get anything done. You have to make them do their job. You put them in office, and they're not going to do anything until there's a situation where it looks like that they might leave office. You have a lot of elected officials that are doing a lot of good, but then you have a lot of elected officials that are doing nothing. Why do we have to go through a debate? My thing is this. I believe and strongly support the Constitution. You have a right to bear arms. That's not the problem. The problem is these are legal handguns. The problem is the people that have legal guns, that have 3 or 4 guns or 10 or 20 guns that are not secured, and somebody break into their house and steal a gun and go kill a family down a block. That's what the problem is. So we need to do everything in our power to bring it to the forefront. Unfortunately, 26 people have to do that for the world to get outraged and for everybody to be upset. But what about the Columbine before that? What about Virginia Tech before that? Let's even go further. What about their own? What about Congresswoman Gabrielle Gifford? What about her? They didn't do nothing then. So what made them, you understand what I'm saying? It's big business. That's all it's about. Big business. And like I said, the community has to come together in order to stop this. This is our start. You have the community, you have businesses, you have the music business that's coming together to say, look, we need to do this. Next week, actually not even next week, when I get off this phone call, I have an interview. There's a VH1 show, Black Ink, that comes on Mondays on Channel 52. The young man that has that show is a guy by the name of Caesar. This is, highlighting that, these are the first African-American tattoo artists that actually are making a name for themselves. So one of the proteges from the guy that owns the shop was killed in October. He was doing it. Listen to this. This is what lets you know that people are lost out here. He was in the shop doing a tattoo. Somebody walked in while he was doing a tattoo and blew this man's brains out.
Wow.
Yes. So I was watching the show, realized that I knew his mother, ran into her, started talking to her like, yo, I want to talk to your son. Maybe we can do something together. Come up to meet with Phil. The owner's sitting up in the office. So we started talking. So he told VH1 that I offered to do the candlelight vision and do an event for him. He just called me back saying that they love it. They want to do the Stop the Violence event. So this is going to be the first event for the new season on Black Ink. So this is big because, like I said, it's giving us the platform that we so truly deserve to highlight this problem.
Now, how can the people get in touch with you about wanting to get into this internship program, wanting to know more about your organization, wanting to know more about all of that?
Okay. Well, I have no problem with people calling me. They can reach me at 646-363-8902 if they want to find out about the intern program. They can call 452-3853, and they must say that they're inquiring about the Blame It on the Hustle intern program. I have a website. I ask people to please go. When they go, they can sign the guest book. If they want to find out how to make a donation, all of that information is on there. The website is www.ltgdf.org.
All right. Say it one more time.
www.L as in Larry, T as in Tom, G as in good, F as in, D as in David, F as in Frank. So that's Lay the Guns Down Foundation.org. It's just the first letter from each word. LTGDF.org. And I appreciate all the support that we can get from our listening audience, because in order to bring about change, we need everybody to believe it can happen.
Exactly. I am ecstatic about this particular program here. I am because I really believe that as we were talking about earlier, it's in the creative process that a lot of us learn. When we were kids, and we had to take a music class, we had to take a gym class. You learn how to apply yourself in some kind of team effort. When we had wood shop, when we had all of that, those things allowed us to understand how life really worked. Even with home economics, when we had to take that to learn how to cook and this, that, and the other, it allowed us to learn how life really works out in the real world. When they took those classes out of the schools, and especially during the time when we had more and more single-parent households, and then the parent wasn't there because the mama or the daddy's working 1, 2, 3 different jobs, so the kids are raising themselves. We lost all of that. So coping skills, conflict resolution skills, and all of those things have been lost, and we just have a generation and a half of angry souls that don't know how to do anything with this aggression because it's not applied into anything. None of the kids know what to do with a hobby. Do you know, every time I say the word hobby, folks look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah,
what are your hobbies?
You talking about? What's a hobby?
And I'm like, so with this program, I really believe that through the creative process, and then they're going to be hands-on with learning how this works, and all the different elements of what this is. I really believe that this is going to be a catalyst that will allow folks to understand how art imitates life, number one, and then the work it takes for art to imitate life. Yeah, we're telling a true story, and we're giving it to you the way it is on the street. But do you realize the work that it takes to make this shit look real?
Exactly. And that's why, like I said, the doors are open.
Wow, I am living for this. I'm living for this. All right. Wow. Just wow. I don't know what else to say, but wow. And
like I said, thank you. And any time that you need us to get back on, all you got to do is just let us know. But we greatly, greatly appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk to your listening audience and have them understand what is trying to be done here.
Exactly. I full-heartedly support this, and this initiative is really what's driving me. The movie itself, because when you're telling truth, the movie is going to be the movie, and it's going to have its own punch. So exactly. I'm not worried about the movie itself, but the internship behind this is what's going. That's the bonus. And that's the other piece of this that's going to make this movie a little different. Back in the day when we had the Boys in the Hoods and this, that, and the other, that particular component was missing because we talked about what goes on in the hood, but we didn't have the community behind it. You know what I'm saying? To talk to the kids or get that demographic in to really to be hands on. So I'm loving this. I am loving this. Yes, I am. When are we looking at a possible release date? We're focused on what I know. We said
what is it? Early 2014 release date, tentative release date. Yeah, early 2014.
Okay. All right. Well, I am impressed. I'm impressed. Okay. So,
all right.
All right. Well, let me let y'all get back to y'all day then, and we're just going to direct everybody to go to this website, ltgdf.org, for all the information. Yep. You'll find all the phone numbers and things there. You've given the phone numbers. Give me the phone numbers one more time.
646-363-8902, and that's the Lay the Guns Down Foundation. And then to inquire about Blame It on the Hustle, 646-452-3853.
All right.
And I appreciate it once again for you giving the opportunity. I look forward to speaking to you again.
Oh, that there will. Hey, we're gonna make this happen. I want that. Yeah. As this come about and you get narrow down your selections and stuff, yeah, I would love to get with the students and those who are in it and bring them on so we can find out what they've learned. And yes, I'm in for that. Okay?
All right, definitely. I'll definitely make it happen for you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great evening.
Thank you so much. You do the same. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And ladies and gentlemen, that there, I am just living for this. This whole particular foundation here, I think, is going to be something. You know, when we look at the television and carrying all, they took everything out of the schools, and then the school system is being all jacked up to where we don't know what's going on. And now they nickel and dime everybody to where you got to buy Hooked on Phonics, you got to buy this, you got to go to the tutoring programs or whatever that's costing an arm and a leg that folks can't afford. Well, all of that used to be in the schools, you know. And with this particular program, this internship for folks to come and first, the biggest thing is this essay. Write this essay on what you believe the definition of hustle is. And then from that, the winning essays, I think they're going to choose about 50 people between the ages of 18 and 24 to come onto the set of this movie and learn the creative process of how the movie business is. And then, you know, this would be a learning tool to see that what is done on that screen, yes, it may look real and this, that, and the other, and emulate real life, but the work behind making it look real is what these kids are going to learn, and prayerfully, it would be a deterrent for them wanting to go back out into those streets because they can see the killer is going to get up again. You know, after they say cut, the killer gets up or the dead person gets up. It ain't like that out there in the streets. And that's the part they get to see. You know, after all this is over, then the cleanup. Okay, I got fake blood. I got to get this off me. The cleanup. This program, I'm telling you, is going to, I'm so far behind this, it's ridiculous. So, yes, I want you guys, again, www.ltgdf.org for information about the organization. 646-363-8902 is the phone number to the foundation, directly Lay the Guns Down Foundation. And if you are interested in wanting to get involved with participating in the internship program, 646-452-3853 is the telephone number for those particular organizations, for the internship program. And the movie is called Blame It on the Hustle. It's being directed by Mr. Augustine, and it is being executive produced by Mr. Phil Gates, and it is starring Ving Rhames, DMX, Mekhi Phiefer, Steven Sagal, and Bokeem Woodbine. This here is going to be something, children, so I'm glad that I had an opportunity to talk with these guys. And with that, honey, I'm going to let you guys get back to your evening on this Tuesday, and I thank you for your love and your support, honey. If you love me, tell a friend. If you hate me, tell an enemy, honey. But do know this. one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, honey. This thing here is moving forward, honey. You may finish all of your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished, and you're dishing tea, darlings. Ha-ha! With Big Meach. Join us tomorrow on our regular time, Wednesday at 1 o'clock p.m., as you will know, honey, we will be interviewing Miss Fantasia, American Idol winner 2004, who is going to be giving us the tea, honey. She's dropping a new album come April 23rd called Side Effects of You. We'll be talking with her tomorrow. So join us at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So I'll talk with you guys then, and you be blessed. Thanks. Ciao.